we solved for ID when the VT was changed. For VT equal to 1.5 volt, we need to find ID dash, that is calculator ID dash. So I use this formula, ID dash equals to half Kn dash W by VGS minus VT. So VT is changed to 1.5 volt here. So I'll not take VGS, earlier VGS. VGS is also going to change because VGS, it is given by VGS is VG is equals to VGS plus ID dash into RS. So there will be change in ID. So VGS is also going to change. That is 7 minus 10K into ID dash. That I'm going to substitute in this. Substitute it. So we are replacing VGS in terms of replacing VGS in terms of ID. So we got a quadratic. Solving this, we will get a quadratic equation. So when you solve for quadratic equation, you will get one value 0.055. Select that 0.055. Actually you'll get two values, right? You'll get two values here, ID dash. Out of that, we select ID dash as 0.455 milliampere. Why? Because if we substitute ID dash into this equation, VGS, gate to source voltage, must be greater than VT. So if I substitute VGS equals to 7 minus 10K, ID dash I got 0.455 milli. So what we get VGS? Yes, how much will get? This kilo and milli will get cancelled. So 10 into 0.455, it is 4.55. So you'll get 2.45. So VGS is 2.45, which is greater than VT. Why I am taking VGS should be greater than VT? Because the transistor is operating in saturation. It is in saturation. Transistor is in saturation. So for the transistor to be, that is MOSFET to be operating in saturation, the condition is VGS should be greater than threshold voltage. The transistor, that is MOSFET, is going to turn on only when gate to source voltage is more than threshold voltage. When it is more than threshold voltage, then only the transistor is going to turn on. Then only the channel is going to create. 2.4 volt, 4.5 volt VGS. New value of VGS it is. And I can take VGS dash. So this one VGS dash, we can take VGS dash here. Because it is earlier when it is VGS was different, it was 2 volt. Earlier VGS we got 2 volt here. Okay, this completes the problem. We move on to the practical session. Do you have any doubt in this question? Yes, do you have any doubt? This I solved it, you can solve it at home. It means I directly had given the quadratic equation here. You can simplify it and you can find it by yourself also. Yes, any doubts in this? So let's move on to the practical session. So this is your first experiment. So this is your first experiment, and the transistor, what I use the transistor is JFET. So transistor is BFW10. JFET transistor we have used. So I already connected the circuit here. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So coupling capacity is C1 here, 0.1 microfarad. So input resistance, that gate resistance is 1 mega ohm. So R1 is 1 kilo ohm, that is RC, and RS is 330 ohm. So these are the capacitors. So C1 and C2 are your coupling. C3 is your bypass capacitor. I'll show you the input and output. Next, I will tell you how to mount it, or else we'll go with the different circuit already, which was solved it in class. We'll move on to that one. So you can see it here, 10 millivolt peak to peak. So 1 kilohertz, are given a frequency 1 kilohertz. So while taking the reading, you can we need to take 10 readings at least. So 100 hertz, for 500 hertz, 1 kilohertz, 10 kilohertz, 50 kilohertz. In that way, you need to check the peak to peak voltage. Input peak had given 10 millivolt peak. Frequency is 1 kilohertz. And now here in the output, okay, this I will turn it on here. So this is how we are getting the output. I will pause it. See, the larger one, what the larger one you are getting, that is your output, and the small signal, that is your input. I have connected the channel A to the output and channel B to the input. You can see here in the diagram. In the diagram, you can see channel A. Channel A I connected to the output. Channel B had connected to input. So that I wanted to know when I overlap it, whether we are getting 180-degree phase shift or not. If it is for BJT, C amplifier, or common source amplifier for JFET and MOSFET, this is common source amplifier. Source is common to both input and output. So for common source in case of BJT and common emitter in case of BJT and common source in case of JFET and MOSFET, the input to voltage, it is 180-degree phase shift. You can see it here. You can zoom it also. You can see it. For positive input cycle, we are getting large negative output cycle. It is 180-degree phase shift. Both channel A, you can see the scale also. Both channel A, okay, I will increase this. Okay, you can see it now. 1 millisecond per division it is. For small signal, this is for channel A. For channel A, 50 millivolt per division I have taken. For channel B also 50 millivolt per division. So here input is given and output is amplified. You can see the amplified signal here, which is 180 degree out of phase. Output is 180 degree out of phase with the input. Can you see it? You can zoom it and you can see the input versus output. And one more thing, can you tell me which circuit so I can perform? Can give any circuit, or else whatever the problems that we have solved it till now, we can do the we can perform experiment on that also. Which one you need? This is how the connection also I shown you. Last time I shown you about the connection also. In connection part, I'll turn it off. See, suppose if I want to find the voltage at this point at the drain, I can take this one. I can connect it here. I'll turn it on. See, you can zoom it and see voltage. Voltage at the drain terminal. Voltage at drain terminal is 7.47 volt or 7.36 volt. Can you see it? It is almost 7.36. If you zoom it, I connected one probe there. I am checking the voltage at that point. Voltage at drain terminal. Voltage at drain terminal, it is giving V equals to 7.3 to 7.4. If you are using a mobile, you can see first one, you can zoom it at the probe one. I have connected probe there, voltage probe 7.36 to 7.4 you are getting voltage at that point. And frequency, last frequency also you can check 1 kilohertz it is. I'll connect one more probe, will come to know. Connect one more probe here. What do you find difference in this? I have connected two probes, one before C2, one after C2. That is one before output coupling capacitor, another after output coupling capacitor. What to find the difference? What is the function of coupling capacitor?
Voltage.
Okay, right. Low voltage means see the function of coupling capacitor is to block DC and allow only AC signal. So at probe one at drain terminal, that is first. If you zoom it, what you are getting, how much voltage it is showing? Can you tell me what is the first voltage at probe one before C2? Before C2, there is a I have connected one probe there, drain voltage. What is the drain voltage? How much it is showing?
7.45.
Okay. Now after C2, after coupling capacitor, how much voltage it is showing? It is varying. It is
Minus 46.
millivolt. It is millivolt. In my computer, I can see millivolt. If you are using mobile, if you zoom it, I think you can slightly read it. Millivolt. It is in terms of millivolt, right? Yes, can you see it? It is in terms of millivolt. Whereas
Yes,
V
sir.
peak to peak. Okay. Whereas V peak to peak means that is AC voltage. Both, if you compare both, AC voltage is same. For first probe, AC voltage V peak to peak is 123 millivolt, whereas for second, after C2, again V peak to peak is 116 millivolt. There is almost same. AC voltage remains same. When the signal passes through capacitor, AC voltage means it is going to pass AC. It is AC remains same, whereas DC it is going to block. So DC is almost 0. So we are practically writing it in terms of millivolt. That is almost 0. Okay. Now so I'll stop it, and if you want to make me to perform any other experiment, I'll open another file. So last time I think we were doing. Okay, I think we are done for this. We have done the design also. I think we have done the design also. I'll connect input as well as output. Let me check the. So channel B, I'm connecting this channel B. So I'm connecting this channel B to input here. So negative connected to ground. Okay, you can see this. This is my C amplifier. C amplifier with RE included. If I include RE, then that is RE and bypass capacitor. If I include bypass capacitor, voltage gain is increased. That is, there is no negative feedback. If I include bypass capacitor, there is no negative feedback. If I remove bypass capacitor, there is a negative feedback. I will check the input. So it is 1 hertz. I'll make it as 1 kilohertz. So input is 1 kilohertz, and this I will take it as milli. We peak 10 millivolt. So amplitude is 10 millivolt. So frequency I had given input frequency 1 kilohertz. Amplitude is 10 millivolt. Close it. I'll check the output now. So channel based input, I will increase it. This one, see. Okay, you can see it now. I'll pause it. Hope you can see it. Can you see it? It's a small signal. See the small signal. If you read channel B I had given it to input. So channel B scale is 20 millivolt per division. It is 20 millivolt per division, whereas channel A it is 5 volt per division. That is a larger signal, whatever it is, larger signal. So here you can see for positive input you are getting negative output, negative amplified output. So for C amplifier also it is 180-degree phase shift. For channel B, if you zoom it, for channel B, it is 20 millivolt per division. And for channel A had connected to output, channel B to input. So here you can see there is 180-degree phase shift, and also we are seeing that signal is amplified. Signal has been amplified with 180-degree phase shift. Okay. Here also you can find voltage. Voltage, there is a last, you can see measurement probe. Last I have clicked here. You can read it. It is a measurement probe. But I will check the voltage at this point. I paused it so you can read it. So before C2 it is voltage is 5.4, and after it is minus 1.64. Okay, 1 second, I will pause it. Okay, now I can read it. So voltage it is 7.13 collector voltage. Collector voltage is 7.13, and when that voltage passes through output coupling capacitor, so voltage V at the output of output coupling capacitor voltage V is in terms of millivolt. It is in terms of millivolt. Whereas peak to peak voltage is same, that is the AC voltage. At the collector, peak to peak voltage is 3.14 volt, and after passing through output coupling capacitor, the AC voltage peak to peak voltage is 2.98. So almost same. Whereas AC is same, DC is going to block. DC will be blocked here because of coupling capacitor. Hope you are reading it. Okay, now tell me which experiment shall I perform? In means whatever the experiments or problems that we have solved till now, we can do it on that also. And last time I told you based on RC phase shift. In RC phase shift, we have done some calculations. Formula was something it is different. If we compare with op-amp and BJT, formula for frequency of oscillation for RC phase shift, it will be different. Suppose if I go, there are three. Okay, I've done. There are three here. Just check it for this RC phase shift. Okay, I hope last time we had done with this, right? This was the RC phase shift oscillator. We are done with the same, no? Or else we can go with another one. Another one is there. Just I will open it. Okay, this is also same. These two design are for 1 kilohertz. Can you zoom it and check what is the C value? Can you tell what is the C value in RC phase shift? This is my RC phase shift RC. This is my C. There are three capacitors, and R. There are three resistors. So what is the C value? Okay, and R value is 4.7 kilo. So if I want to find the frequency of oscillation for this BJT, or this, suppose for R equal to was 4.7 kilo ohm and C was equal to 0.01 microfarad. The last time I had given this formula 1/2 pi RC root 6. This is for RC phase shift using op-amp, but we have done it for BJT. So frequency of oscillation formula is different for that. 2 pi RC root 4 RC divided by R plus 6. This is RC phase shift frequency of oscillation formula for BJT. We are using BJT. This is the formula. So if I want to find F equals to frequency of oscillation 2 pi. So R is 4.7 kilo ohm. C is 0.01 microfarad. Root of 4 into RC is, so in the design RC collector resistor was 2.2 kilo ohm. That's 2.2 kilo ohm. So 2.2 kilo ohm, and this one is R is 4.7 kilo ohm. Right? Kilo ohm and kilo ohm we cancel, plus 6. So if we calculate it, so 2 pi So if we calculate this, we'll get 2.95 into 10 raised to minus 4. So with the square root term, we calculate. So this is 1.87 plus 6. Just check. Yes, how much we'll get? So if I take 1 divided by 2.95, so 1 divided by 2.95 to 3.38. So the time is 2.8 divided by 7.87. So we have equals to how much you're rating?
4.2.
1.2 kilohertz. Okay, 1.2 kilohertz. That is the frequency. So see, I have taken RC, this one.
Sir, 4 point.
4 point. No, this one is root. 1 second, this one is square root here. This is also square root. Just check it now. That is square root. Now you're rating 1.2, right?
1.2, sir.
Okay. I didn't include a square root here. So after including square root, you'll get 1.2. So see, RC value, just RC value I have taken it as 2.2 kilo ohm. So you need to check the diagram here. Check the diagram. See, it is 2.2. You can see RC collector resistor is 2.2 kilo ohm. So we will check the output here. I'll double tap on this. I'll turn on this button. So here you can see time base scale is 1 millisecond per division. 1 millisecond per division. So it is 1 millisecond per division. Now you check it. How much division it is covering? one cycle, how much division it is covering? So it is covering almost one division, right? Can zoom it and check. I have taken time per division as 1 millisecond per division. So for per division, it is 1 millisecond. So how much division this one cycle is covering? So one cycle is covering almost one division it is. Yes, positive cycle and negative cycle, it is covering one division. You need to check along x-axis. I'm not asking for peak to peak. You check it along x-axis. X-axis is time. So it is one division. So one cycle, one full cycle, it's covering one division. So one division into, you can see time per division, where my pointer is here. So 1 millisecond it is. So time is 1 millisecond, frequency is 1 divided by time, that is 1 millisecond will get 1 kilohertz. So practically you are getting 1 kilohertz. So practically you are getting 1 kilohertz. So this is for oscillator. This is the case with oscillator. Yes, any other circuits that you need to study so that we can mount it here and we can check it, or whatever the, let me go for one circuit. Here everything is here. You can see it here. MOS 3TEN. It represents the MOS, CMOS, that is MOSFET. It is MOSFET for 3-terminal. 3T represents 3-terminal. EN represents enhancement type. Enhancement type N channel. E represents enhancement. If you are zooming it, parallelly I am checking it my mobile also, so that either you can see it or not. So see, you can read MOS, MOS, MOS underscore 3TEN. So 3-terminal enhancement N channel MOSFET it is. So in this, I'll take a simple one. I'll go with the 2N series, 2N7 or so I'll go with the 2N700 itself. So you can see model name is, it is a manufacturer ID. At the right side, you can see manufacturer ID, it is a Philips. So okay, I will place it here. Now I will include VDD and ground. VDD, that is sources, you can find it in sources. So here you can find VDD. Can you see it? VDD. In sources you can find VDD. I placed that VDD here. Okay, I'll place it here. Ground is here. I place it below. Again, we need resistors. So go with basics. In basics, resistors are here. So voltage divider circuit for today, what we have solved for voltage divider, I am just going with that circuit. So I'll place 4 voltage divider 4 resistors. I am placing it here, and afterwards you can change the value of this resistors also. I'll close it. Now you can see okay. So Control R, if I press Control R, it is going to rotate. Yes. Hope you can see it clearly. I'm not going to apply any voltage, AC voltage and all. Just it is DC analysis. I'm including only DC sources here. I'm going to check drain voltage, source voltage and all. So here I'm going to connect it. Can you see it? I'm just going to connect it. RD, I'm connecting it to drain terminal. So this one I'm going to connect it here. So it is a MOSFET. For your convenience, I'll change this. I label this R4 as RG1, so that you should not confuse. It is RG1, and this is RG2. And I will write the component values also for RG1 and RG2. So let's take this one as 1.6 mega ohm. It is 1.6 mega ohm. Let's take it as 3.4 mega ohm. It is 1.6 mega ohm. Can you see it? See, in the circuit, I am just drawing a MOSFET for voltage divider bias. You can see the RG1 and RG2. You can zoom it and see, or else I just drag it here. You can see it clearly. Okay, RG1 and RG2. Now this is your R5. That is, I will name it as RD. Drain resistance RD. And I'll give the value for this RD as 5 kilo ohm. Similarly for RS, I'll give 5 kilo ohm. So VDD is 5, let it be that only. So how much you're getting here? Can you see how much you're getting? I connected a probe at the drain. Yes, how much you're getting? I will pause it now so that you should not find any variation. Okay, this is my circuit. Okay, I have done the circuit here. Just zoom it and check the. You can copy down the. You can copy down it, and I will tell you what we need to find here. Yes, can you zoom it? If you have zoomed it, just go through that circuit. RG1 1.6 mega ohm, RG2 3.4 mega ohm, RD is 5 kilo ohm, RS is 5 kilo ohm, and I have taken the MOSFET 2N7000. VDD is given 5 volt. And now I'm checking the drain voltage VD. VD is 3.67. Can you see it? VD is 3.67. If you are using multimeter, you can use multimeter also. I'm taking this multimeter here. I'll double tap on this. Can you see the multimeter reading? This is my multimeter. Can you see multimeter reading here? How much you're reading? Multimeter reading? Yes, how much you're reading multimeter reading?
1.327.
On 0.327. That is your source voltage. I have connected this multimeter to source voltage. I have connected this to source voltage Vs. See, if I connect multimeter, I can check the current also. What is the current flowing through it? So I'll turn it on. So current is almost so 9 current flowing through it. 998 microampere means it is almost 1. That is 1000 microampere. That is 1 milliampere, right? It is almost 1 milliampere. Getting it? It is 1 milliampere. Now you copy down. See, you copy down the question for this. ID equals to 1 milliampere. So how much you can take down the question? I will take voltage here. Can you find what is the current flowing through RD? See multimeter, see this current reading. How much you're rating current reading here? See, this current reading is not accurate. This is not a correct method, okay? I can't connect the multimeter across resistor to find the current. I need to connect this multimeter in series, not in parallel. Getting it? I should connect to find the current. I repeat, to find the current flowing through the resistor, we should not connect the multimeter across the resistor. We need to connect in series with the resistor. Then only we can find what is the current flowing through that resistor. In this probe, you can directly see in this probe. I will okay. In this probe, you can see what is the voltage and what is the current. Can you tell what is the current? I is given C. Can you see it from probe 1? From probe 1, okay, 255 micro. If you can zoom it, it is 265 microampere. I current flowing through drain resistance. So instead of this multimeter, hope this multimeter I used to so that you are aware of this multimeter. That's why I used it. Or else you can cancel it. I will just remove this multimeter. I will keep the probe here and I will check directly. Okay, now you can directly see here. I current flowing through RD and current flowing through RS. It is same. That is I equals to 265 microampere. Can you see it? One second, I will take a screenshot and we'll find what is, I will take VG also, I'll find VG. So VG is 3.4. So at this moment, I will take a screenshot here. I've taken print screen. I'll go to paint. And paint, I will control V. So I'm going to crop it. I can crop it. Okay, I cropped it. Can you see it clearly now? Or else I will enlarge it. Hope you can see it now. We will solve the same problem here. Can you see it? Is it visible, the numericals? Is it visible? Here it is given V equals to 3.67. If it is not visible, I am writing it here. And here V is equals to, so V here it is VD and this is VS, and it is 1.33 volt. And here you can see VG, gate voltage, it is given 3.4 volt. And current, if you check this current, ID is equal to 0.265 milliampere. Actually, it is given 265 microampere. I am going to convert this one into milliampere. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now RG1, if it is not visible, I am writing it here 1.6 mega ohm, and this RG2 it is 3.4 mega ohm, and this is 5 kilo ohm, and this is also 5 kilo ohm. RD and RS. Now my question is, for this circuit, for given Kn dash W by L 1 milliampere per volt square and Vt threshold is 1 volt. Find VGS VG VD VS for given ID equals to 0.265 milliampere. This is my question. So already RG1, RG2, RD and RS are given for you. Here these are your answers. So find it and check practically and numerically are you getting the same one. This is my answer. VS. This is my answer. VG 3.4 volt. This is my answer. The question is to find what is the voltage VD, VS and VG. ID is given here. So answer, you write ID formula 1 by 2 Kn dash W by L VGS minus VT whole square. From this you can find VGS. Tell me what you will get VGS. ID it is 0.265 milli. 1 by 2 Kn dash W by L, it is 1 milli. VGS minus VT is 1 volt. Is already given. Try to find for VGS. I repeat, in my given question, I had given only resistor values. Rest all voltage at gate terminal, voltage at drain terminal, and voltage at source terminal we need to find. Practically, I have shown you the answer. Practically, what you're getting, I have shown you the answer. Theoretically, what you need to get, that you need to find. How much you're writing VGS? Let's solve it. Solve it. Take a calculation and solve it. Yeah, I'll take two LHS. It is 0.53. So it is 1 milli. So VGS minus VT whole square. So milli and milli will get cancelled. So square root of 0.53. 0.728. So it is VGS. So I think VT is a 0 or 1. VT is already given 1 volt. Are you getting this answer? VG 1.728.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now for next, find it for VS. I will take VS here. We got VGS. Sorry, it is VGS, not VG. It is VGS. So VS is voltage across RS. So voltage across RS into current flowing through that is ID. So RS is 5 kilo ohm and ID given is 0.265 milli. So milli and kilo will get cancelled. That is 1.325 VS. Are you getting the same answer? 1.325.
Yes, sir.
Next, find it for VG. Side only, there is no space. I'll write it here itself, or else I will use different color so that you will identify. See, to find VG, you apply voltage divider rule. VG gate voltage is equal to VDD into RG2 divided by RG1 plus RG2. So VG is equal to VDD is 5 volt, RG2 it is 3.4 mega divided by, so 1.6, RG1 is 1.6 mega plus 3.4 mega. Can anyone tell me the answer for this? PG, capital letter or small letter? Both are same here. Don't get confused with capital letter and small letter. How much are you getting? Yes, how much you're getting? VG 3.4, right? 3.4, no?
Yes, sir.
3.4 volt And now check the answers. Now what is left to find? VD. VD, no? Now find it for VD. I don't have space in this paint now, and or else I need to use another one page. Okay, in small space, I'll write it. I'll use another color. I'll use blue color. So VD, I'm going to find here VD. VD equals to voltage across drain is equals to current flowing through it into resistance RD. ID is given 0.265 milli and RD is 5 kilo. So what you are getting VD? Okay. One second. It is not current flowing through that ID into RD, voltage across RD it is. So voltage at VD is VGD minus ID into RD. Wait 1 second, I will wipe it. So VD is given by VGD minus IDRD. It is 5 minus 0.265 milli and RD is 5K. So if you calculate this, we are getting 3.67, right? Now check all these answers with the practically what you are getting. Practical answer with the theoretical answer. So hope all are same, right? All are of same value. Even K n dash W by L for transistor for 2N700. For this transistor, K n dash VT. I have taken that for this 2N7000. Threshold voltage for this is 1 volt, and for this K n dash W by L it is 1 milliampere. If I substitute those, I got this value. So I'll mark the theoretical answer here. So if I compare this theoretical with VD, so here if you compare with this is my practical answer. Practical answer, if you compare with this theoretical, both are same. And VG is 3.4. So this if I compare with practical, this is also 3.4. And VS here also, if I compare with this, theoretical with practical, both are same, almost same. It is 1.33, and here I'm getting 1.325. Getting it? You can take a screenshot. That is one of the numerical problem. You can consider it for their notes also. Anyhow, I'll be giving you the notes at the end of the day. I'll be giving you the notes. Is there any doubt in this? So practically what we have performed and what we have checked at each probe, the same voltage you are getting when you do it for theory also. Yes, is there any doubt in this design part? So theoretical values and practical values are matching. What we have done it in practical. Yes, do you have any doubts in this regarding practical? So far we have completed first from part A, first one, that is FET. You can check here in FET we have done. This is FET amplifier, we have done it. In FET amplifier I have shown you. So this is common gate amplifier. So that is VG constant. I have taken this VG as constant here. Instead of using a voltage order, I have taken only one resistor here. So it is called as self-bias circuit. Self-bias circuit of JFET. It is JFET. So I have shown you the output also and overlapped input as well as output. So you got to know how the output is 180 degree out of phase with the input. And also I have shown you the voltage before applying before capacitor and after capacitor. So what will be change in the output? So how it is going to block? So practically you have seen it. And after this, we have done the design also. This design using DC analysis, there is no AC input here. Only DC we have checked. At each probe, we are checking the output and taking the same example by applying the formula of ID. By applying the formula of this ID drain current, and we have found the values. So here also VGS, VG, VS, whatever you got in practical, same result we are getting in theoretical also. So far, do you find any doubt in this? One thing is that you need to know the KVL and formula. You need to know the formula. So ID is K1 by 2 Kn dash W by L VGS minus VT. Don't go there with this. So how we got this formula? It is a direct formula. Just you need to remember this formula. That is for current ID current in saturation. Do you find any doubt in this regards?